The Adrien English Mysteries, Volume 2, Death of a Pirate King, The Dark Tide, and So This Is Christmas. Written by Josh Lanyon. Narrated by Chris Patton. Death of a Pirate King. Chapter 1. It was not my kind of party. Sure, some people might think the dead guy made it my kind of party, but that wouldn't be a fair assessment of my entertainment needs, or my social calendar. I mean, it had been a good 2 years since I'd last been involved in a murder investigation. I sell books for a living. I write books too, but not enough to make a living at it. I did happen to sell one book I wrote to the movies, which is what I was doing at a Hollywood party, which, like I said, is not my scene, or at least was not my scene until Porter Jones slumped over and fell face first into his bowl of vichyssoise. I'm sorry to say my initial reaction as he keeled over was relief. I'd been nodding politely as he'd rambled on for the past 10 minutes, trying not to wince as he gusted heavy alcoholic sighs my way during his infrequent pauses. My real attention was on screenwriter Al January, who was sitting on the other side of me at the long, crowded luncheon table. January was going to be working on the screen adaptation of my first novel, Murder Will Out. I wanted to hear what he had to say. Instead, I heard all about deep-sea fishing for white marlin in St. Lucia. I pushed back from the table as the milky tide of soup spilled across the linen tablecloth. Someone snickered. The din of voices and silverware on china died. "For God's sake, Porter!" Mrs. Jones exclaimed from across the table. Porter's shoulders were twitching, and I thought for a moment that he was laughing, although what was funny about breathing soup I'd no idea, having sort of been through it myself recently. "Was it something you said, Adrien?" Paul Kane, our host, joked to me. He rose as though to better study Jones. He had one of those British public school accents that make insignificant comments like, "Would you pass the butter?" sound as interesting as "Fire when ready." Soup dripped off the table into my empty seat. I stared at Porter's now motionless form, the folds on the back of his thick tanned neck, the rolls of brown flab peeping out from beneath the indigo-blue Lacoste polo, his meaty, motionless arm with the gold Rolex watch. Maybe 20 seconds all told, from the moment he toppled over to the moment it finally dawned on me what had actually happened. "Oh, hell," I said.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?